As I was recently ready to type my thoughts using my Bluetooth keyboard before going to sleep, I was thinking of whatever unnecessary and downright harmful things the normies have given to the class that frankly allows them to bitch about autistic people while effectively neglecting their offspring to afford stupid stuff. If it weren't for some autistic people here and there would be so many fewer people to give their intellectual superiors a ton of headache. Some people have to be thorough enough to think of the materials and their physical and chemical qualities to allow us to sit on our asses and forget about what brings food to the store shelves. Normies are also the kind of people who build apartment houses with no air conditioning and then wonder why so many people end up hospitalized every summer. It's not that the technology didn't exist to prevent those hospitalizations, as I, frankly, envy the Americans for their knowledge and cultural standards for air conditioning. Here in Finland, we are still yet to wake up or be bothered about the reality of having no AC units during summer heat. I must be the only one in my house to have an AC at all. And it's always the same conversation each year. People keep saying they're good when the heat is still bearable, but once it's 25 degrees Celsius or more for a whole week, then they're suffering or rushing to buy whatever AC they can get. Even my flat can get ridiculously warm when it's still less than 20 degrees Celsius outside. Without AC, 24 or 25 degrees at my computer desk is more or less a norm in this season. I mean, I had to buy a portable unit with 22,000 BTUs, as I'm only a tenant and my previous 12,000 BTU units weren't cutting it. The area of my place is only about 34 square meters, and the unit I recently bought is being sold for places of 64 square meters. I don't know what the f*** is making Finnish apartment houses so warm throughout the year, but I guess I'll just have to budget for the electric costs to be able to function throughout the summer. Oh, and since the normies of Finland are yet to be aware of portable air conditioners, I'm grateful that there's at least a workshop where I got a piece of plywood sawed according to my plan. Our windows haven't been built with AC units in mind, necessitating the construction of custom, detachable window seals with a hole for the hose. I mean, all this work just to be able to live in a home you're paying for in 2026. Europe is a third world continent in terms of indoor temperature during summer, despite all the knowledge that's out there. The Americans get it right in air conditioning, but also fail to resist the short-term temptation to bully their autistic people. Mouth breathers come in all shapes and forms, and none of the superpowers check every box. The Europeans are too proud to prevent heat strokes, the Americans enjoy working themselves to death, the Russians can't live without wars, and the Chinese have taken over the world with their technological expertise. Every f***ing gadget, including my newest AC, is assembled by some miserable people in some miserable 24/7 sweatshop. And as if that wasn't bad enough, whoever runs my weekly group has gone out of control and turned it into one of those things that remind you of school. You know, the very place your parents send you to get bullied and receive impossible assignments, because the mere idea of schools being mental asylums for future psychopaths didn't occur to them. Schools fail miserably at creating an environment in which you could learn shit, not to mention punishing the bad actors who are only there because they have nowhere else to go. And as the leader of my weekly group has thought it's a great idea to turn it from casual conversations into forced teamwork that no one's into, I'm likely to just flip off that fucker as well. Somehow, all the autistic groups I've been in turn into shit over time. Either my interests just don't align with the majority of the group, or some out-of-touch asshole leaders want to ruin what made the group even worth participating in. And sorry but not sorry if you're the leader and watching this video. The whole f***ing place I've been to have anything outside my apartment is turning into shit because of people like you who clearly don't know why most of the participants are so passive and quiet. You're essentially creating a bubble that's going to burst in the form of everyone flipping you off and never forgiving you, because your f***ed up pedagogy reminds us of the societal class that makes our lives a living hell as neurodivergent people. I shouldn't have to educate you f-tards about this, as I'm living proof of what inferior normies like you cause to autistic people. We aren't having a hard time socializing. We have trust issues caused by the patronizing attitude of the leaders of autistic groups. Just because we might have a baby face as late as 35 doesn't mean we're not adults who can smell f***ery like the group I told you about from miles away. No one runs activities for autistic people to help their subjects, but to remind who's the boss in this clown world that can hardly run advanced societies. Support groups are nothing but virtue-signaling parties for the inferior normies who want to look good while secretly disrespecting the individuality of each neurodivergent person, and that's the kind of f***ery I think I'm dealing with right now. The leader won't admit their flaws because they've been to such and such a seminar that taught them bullshit about autism, and they want to show that they've got it now. I'm telling you, the best and perhaps only valid seminar you can have in life is growing up with bullshit that you can never bring up without getting laughed at. Look at the actions of your authorities and their long-term response to feedback, and see how it goes. No matter if your municipality has the idea to pay people to waste your time with bullshit, it's still bullshit if it makes you go on a kind of tirade you've been listening to. And even if it turns out that the leader is listening to this and is genuinely sorry, it still shouldn't take this much to make a change. I'm just done with educating people about my f***ing case over and over, while being an outcast on all relevant social aspects of my life to my f***ing middle age. If anything, I guess I should have been educated about the social life of a casual video editor, which is non-existent. People could just start treating me like they treat their miserable, clueless mouth-breather friends. And don't even get me started on that platitude about bitterness being something repulsive. None of the fuckers who bring that up know what it's like to have no social life or relationships at 35, so don't even think about insulting me with your cliches if you have nothing to say. Shit, I'm starting to sound like the guy who runs a channel called Raymond Thoughts and Mind or at Raymond_Sycamore. In fact, I just found out that all his videos have disappeared from his channel. Anyway, the dude is only like 2 or 3 years older than me, or was he younger than me? Well, anywho, he's been in his 30s like me, and is actually bald, unlike me, who somehow has most of his hair from his 20s. In comparison, a guy whose channel is called Aaron Clary has more of a spiteful tone in his videos about the whole men versus women thing that the whole globe has been engaged in despite more urgent things to worry about. Then again, Aaron Clary has a GF and has been a social butterfly compared to my history. It would just take so fucking much for me to be into social events at this point. Most people just bore me to death, and even when it seems as if something beautiful would come out of me with another person, I get frozen due to some unresolved insecurities or something. But that's another story for another video.